seventh house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets,
And love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods or derisions, golden living dreams of visions,
mystic crystal revelation,
and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius. Aquarius.
when the moon is in the seventh house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Hey there, people all around the world, men and women, boys and girls. The time has come to occupy. It's much too late to judge and cry. Think about a love revolution, and it's here again. And it's time to let the sun shine in. Come together and sing out strong. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. All around the world. Let the sun shine. Come together. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine in. Everybody sing. Let the sun shine. Open up your hearts. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine in. Come together and sing out strong for a peaceful planet where we all belong. Replace all fears with love and grace. We are different shades of one human race. It's the place to chase. The revolution is here again. It's near again. The resolution will now begin for all to let the sunshine in.
How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, Grateful for each step I take. Grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun. Grateful when the day is done. Grateful that I have you in my heart. Grateful for this universe, for the better and the worse. Grateful that this world keeps spinning round. Grateful for my memories. Grateful for my hopes and dreams. Grateful for the blessings I have found. Give praises for all the gifts I have. Given the chance, I'm gonna shout out loud. Grateful for each breath awake. Grateful for each step I take. Grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun. Grateful when the day is done. Grateful that I have you in my heart. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful now.
Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. 1,000 cups of tea, but not like this one. 1,000 breaths we breathe, but not like this one. 1,000 suns will rise, but not like this one. 1,000 lullabies, but not like this one. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. 1,000 passing smiles, come on, sing it, but not like this one. 1,000 starlit skies, but not like this one. 1,000 words to choose, but not like this one. 1,000 I love yous, but not like this one. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. With a brand new pair of eyes, so that we may finally see. Yeah. 1,000 cups of tea, 1,000 gifts received, 1,000 fields of green, 1,000 farewells will grieve, and 1,000 lives conceived. Come on, sing it. But not like this one. 1,000 hands will hold, but not like this one. 1,000 stories told, but not like this one. 1,000 beauties to behold, but not like this one. And 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. And 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. Put your hand up on your heart with us right now. 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. So let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday Service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean to you sitting at the house watching us now? We have 10 different faith perspectives and 10 different musical artists. Actually, full disclosure, we have 8 and we're looking for 2 more. So if you know someone, send them our way. Anyway, we give each of those groups a single word topic at the beginning of a series. They go back, the artists create 2 videos, the speakers create a 25-ish minute talk on that topic without any other clarification on what that should look like from their faith perspective. My lips will work and do it that my brain says soon. We say hello and goodbye, and we send it all to Philip, and he magically creates it into a wonderful video that you are watching now. If you would like to join us in this endeavor, you can at www.peopleofdiversity.org. Hit the donate button in the middle of the page, and that will allow you to make whatever commitment you want, whether that be weekly, monthly, one time, or set up a regular tithe donation or offering, because some people like other words. I just noticed that. Anyway, that's all I know.
So that's not all you know. Why don't you tell them about March the 7th?
It's my birthday.
Besides that.
Oh, we are doing a gratitude dinner, a thank you, come meet the speakers. And the thank you is kind of to everyone, right? So we're putting almost all of our speakers together down at the Unity of Melbourne, and between 6 and 9.
6 and 8:30. 6 and 8:30.
I'll get the
We have to
dates.
be out of there at 9.
Out at 9. And a really short program. You know, who are you? What's your faith? What's your favorite topic? What's your least favorite topic? Kind of short conversation with each speaker, really allowing us an opportunity to visit, talk, for them to have an opportunity to visit and talk with each other, and with you if you should decide to come and join us. It's an RSVP because we're buying dinner, so let us know if you're coming so that we can have an appropriate amount of food and fixings for everyone.
Yeah, so if you're planning to come, please email newwaypod@gmail.com, newwaypod@gmail.com, and RSVP, and let us know if you're coming, if you're bringing anybody with you, whatever, because I'd like to have that by the 28th of February at the latest, so we can plan the food thing. So, yep. Good?
Good.
All right. Okay. Last week, we're on the topic of responsibility, and last week we had Rabbi Emerita Pat Hickman, and her musical accompaniment was Daniel Kafel. Daniel Kafel. That's right. Today is Shaman Jerry Nettesheim, and her musical guest is our dear friend Donna Frost. And next week will be Wiccan Oracle, and his musical guest will be Victor Morgado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So past services are available at the People of Diversity Facebook group or Facebook page, and you can just go there, and the immediate past service will be at the top of the page, and then you can go dive a little deeper into that, and you can see all of the past services. We also have a YouTube channel, People of Diversity YouTube channel, where the morning service is broadcast live, and all of the past services are cataloged, and you can use their playlist function. You can look at the past services based on the topic, like responsibility or oneness or unity, whatever topic you'd like to look at, and see all of the talks if you want, from the different perspectives on that one topic, or you can say, I want to see what the Baha'is say about everything, or I want to see what the Jewish people say about everything. So it's use that playlist function. It's really cool. Today, or in the morning, after following the morning service from 11:45 till 12:15, we do a live Zoom deep dive where we can, and the link for that is below, you can get on, we can see each other and chat and talk about the message. A lot of times the speaker comes when they are able. Sometimes Jerry is able to come and sometimes she can't. I don't know if she is this time or not. But it's a lot of fun, and even if the speaker can't come, we enjoy it. We just talk about our thoughts about what happened during the service.
And it's a Zoom, so you can hang out and see each other and actually visit.
Zoom. Yeah. We rebroadcast the morning service at 5:45 on Sunday evenings. It's the same morning. It's the same as the morning service, but we're on Facebook Live and we can chat in the chat box, and that's kind of fun too. And we always get so much more out of it the second time when we watch the broadcast. And if you want to get Facebook notifications about the broadcast, so all you have to do is push a button and just go to the People of Diversity Facebook group or Facebook page, ask to join. We'll let you in, and on Sundays you will get that that notification that something's about to happen. You just push the button and there you are. So each week we bless a country. So if you have any information about the country that we are blessing next week, send it to the email address, the newwaypod@gmail address. Next week is South Korea. This week is North Korea. And it's a very interesting, this is a heavy duty one. It's very interesting. So, North Korea is located in East Asia on the Korean Peninsula. It has borders with China, Russia, and South Korea. It is about the size of Pennsylvania and has 26 million people, which is about double the population in Pennsylvania, if that gives you any idea. So, North Korea is officially an atheist state, so 71% of the people claim no religion. There are 13% Kondoism, which is a Korean shamanism type religion. And there are small communities of Christians and Buddhists, but they get a fair amount of harassment. So, according to what I saw online. So, the average life expectancy in North Korea is 69 years old, and that is one of the lowest in the world. It has the 4th largest army in the world. And remember, this place is the size of Pennsylvania, the 4th largest army. Kim Jong-un is the supreme leader, that's his title, of North Korea. He's been there since 2011, and North Korea is considered to be one of the most government-restricted countries in the world. There are very few computers in North Korea, and they are extremely expensive, and even if you have one, you are only allowed to access 28 websites. Cell phones have little to no internet access and are highly monitored by the government, and there are only 3 television stations. So their contact with the outside world is extremely limited. Things banned in North Korea, this was crazy. Things banned in North Korea are skinny jeans, certain piercings, branded t-shirts, women's hygiene products, and birth control pills and condoms. And that's just a short list of the things that are banned there. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Here's a good one. There are 28 state-approved haircuts. Men's hair must be cut about every 15 days to keep it between 1/2 and 2 inches long. And there are slightly longer styles that women can choose from. Kim Jong-un's own hair is not included in the restrictions because he wants his hair to be unique and recognizable. There you go. Here's the last fact. North Korea is home to the world's largest sports stadium with a capacity of 150,000 people. There are rarely any sporting events there. But they have the mass games every year, which is a combination gymnastics and arts festival. So let's hold the people of North Korea in our hearts. Let's hold them with some freedom. That would be the main word that I would say that people in North Korea could use, is some freedom. So let's hold them in our hearts and say these words together. May peace prevail in North Korea. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Freedom. Thank you. All right.
All right, Miss Donna Frost will be coming to us from her amazing abode in the mountains, and it will be joyful. She's not in the mountains. She's in Tennessee, so it's good. Jerry will share with us from a shamanic perspective, and she is an amazing speaker.
She is, yeah.
And is incredibly articulate and passionate about her topic. So without further ado, we will see you on the other side.
Hi everybody, Donna Frost here, coming to you from our house in Hendersonville, Tennessee. We're not on the porch today because it's cold outside. The sun's out, sky's blue, but it's cold. So one more video from indoors from me. And our topic this week is responsibility. And I've got 2 original songs here about personal responsibility. And the first one is about jumping off the party train, hopping on the wagon, self-explanatory. 6 years ago for me on January 28th, and I'm glad I did. And it was the best thing I ever did for myself. And so here we go. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I went over the lemon once again. Flirting with disaster, had too many close calls. Eventually my lucky streak will end. There's nothing cool, acting like a fool. There's only one thing left for me to do. I'm jumping off the party train, I'm hopping on the wagon. It was fun while it lasted, now I say goodbye. I'm taking a chance, I'm giving to change the way I'm living. It's gonna be a battle, but at least I say I tried. Those nights I'm trying to remember, some I wish I could forget. The mornings I woke up, hungover with regret. I spent too many days living in a purple haze. It's time to bring the curtain down on this crazy place. I'm learning a new way of having a good time. It's gotta be a battle, but I know I'll be just fine. I'm jumping off the party train, I'm hopping on the wagon. It was fun while it lasted, now I say goodbye. I'm taking a chance, I'm giving to change the way I'm living. It's gonna be a battle, but at least I say I tried. But at least I say I tried. It's gonna be a battle, but at least I say I tried. There we go. There we are, jumping off the party train and hopping on the wagon. Good stuff. The next song is this was inspired. I wrote this several years ago And it's on an album that I've been working on in Chicago. Hopefully I'll get it finished up. This song I wrote, I had performed at an event in Louisville, Kentucky a few years ago. And it was for young girls, teenage girls who were coming out of abusive relationships and off of drugs. And it really made a very profound effect on me. I played my music, shared my experiences with them. I listened and talked. It was a very special, spiritually uplifting, and such an amazing day. It really was, and it inspired this song. And I realized that day that that was when I really started getting that with my music. I wanted to do things to help other people, that it was my responsibility with the gift I was given of music to share it with others and to use it for healing and for helping. And because that's our responsibility in this world. Everybody's hurting, and we are responsible to help other people when they're down and out, or when they're in pain, or need some help, or if something we've gone through gets somebody through something else. It's part of the what happens to us, the things that happen in life. So this is called That's Why I'm Here, and I hope you enjoy it. There've been some dark roads I've traveled down, feeling lost and lonely, trouble all around, hopeless and helpless, dazed and confused, determined to not repeat the mistakes of my youth. The way became clear, I've nothing to fear. That's why I'm here. Sometimes I wonder how I made it so long. What doesn't kill you only makes you strong. I've been knocked down, but never knocked out. I stepped out in faith, I had no wrong to doubt. Well, I don't dwell on times that caused me great pain. I suffered my share of loss. Nothing ever stays the same. The way it became clear, I've nothing to fear. That's why I'm here. Yeah, sometimes I wonder how I made it so long. What doesn't kill you only makes you strong. I've been knocked down, but never knocked out. I stepped out in faith, I have no wrong to doubt. There is a reason I'm still standing today. Gotta share my story, help someone along the way. Now I know sweet victory. This journey I've been on is nearly complete. That's why I'm here. Thank you for having me as part of your service today, and I'll see you next time around. God bless you all. Much love to everybody. Take care.
Thank you so much, Scott and Becky, for inviting me to speak on the shamanic view of responsibility today. It is an honor and a pleasure. Responsibility, it's a loaded word, and we show up with it encoded in our DNA. In fact, our first responsibility was to breathe on our own. See, we show up as these needy bundles of flesh, blood, and bone. So needy, in fact, that without our parents' constant care, we would die. Food, shelter, nurture, and protection. This was the responsibility of our parents or other caregivers to ensure that we didn't die. And since we are all here, we can be grateful that someone took their responsibility serious enough for us to be present today for this discussion. And now it is our job to ensure that we stay that way and be responsible for our own progeny, be they physical or spiritual. Ask any new parent, and the second that little person is placed into our arms, it feels like this very heavy mantle is placed on our shoulders. And even for folks who are out there listening who don't have kids, this goes for anybody. Like anything that we get placed in our care that requires us to come out of ourselves, we feel that mantle, that weight of responsibility. And speaking of weighted, the word responsibility can actually be a very heavily loaded word for some of us. So for our discussion today, the first thing I'm going to do is a little technique called shamanic word deconstruction. And what shamanic word deconstruction consists of is saying a word or a phrase in a different way until the heaviness or the initial trigger response that we feel is gone. And we do this by saying it in different intonations based upon the emotions that come up when we hear the word, So I'm going to take the next few moments and I'm going to speak about the word responsibility. And I'm going to say it with different vocal inflections. And I want you to watch and become aware of what images and emotions come up for you as I say the word. Now, I don't want you to hold on to any of those images, nor do I want you to get embroiled in the emotions that come up. Just observe it. And by the way, you can do this with any word that's a trigger for you. Responsibility. 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 Respond ability. Ability to respond. I like that. This is the definition of the word that we'll be working with today. It feels okay. Respondability, responsibility. It has a neutral charge to it. And so that moves me to the second thing. This is the other tool that we're going to use today, now that we've sussed out the definition of the word responsibility that we're going to use for this talk. And the next tool that we're going to use is we're going to use the Peruvian medicine wheel with its 4 archetypes. Okay? And these are 4 animal archetypes that represent the 4 directions of the medicine wheel: south, west, north, and east. And they are as follows. First, we have serpent energy in the south, and that's factual. It's shedding old stories. We begin to ask ourselves, what can we release? Then we move to the west, where we have sweet Mother Jaguar energy. And that's tracking down our fears within ourselves, tracking down our shadows, and asking those shadows, how can we be fearless? Then we move to the north with hummingbird energy, which is the sweetness of life. This is going to be about discovering our new desires, our true desires, and encourages us to ask, what sweetness do we have in our life? And that brings us finally around to east energy, which is eagle condor, which is God, higher self perspective, flying above our own situation and seeing how can we view our current situation from a different, higher God, higher self, spiritual perspective. Okay? So now we're going to take a step back into our topic today, which is about responsibility. That is, respondability, ability to respond. And we're going to take it through the medicine wheel. And by the way, this technique also works well with any other situation that you might face. We start with responsibility, respondability, ability to respond, serpent. Then we're going to move to respondability, avoidance, and overreaching with Mother Jaguar. And then responsibility, what do we embrace? What responsibilities do we actually enjoy, and those that truly belong to us? And that's hummingbird energy. And then finally, we're going to round it out with responsibility. How does it connect us all together? And that's eagle condor. So, and since we're looking at the word responsibility as an ability to respond, the first thing that we need to do is discuss and assess any situation that we find ourselves in. And for those extreme circumstances, we rely very heavily on folks who are called first responders. That is, those who are trained to do what is absolutely necessary to ensure that life, health, and safety needs are met. Once the crisis has been averted, then we can take inventory of what's left and do the necessary healing that it takes to rebuild. So, what if the situation is that of our own making? Or what if someone or something else is to blame for the situation that we find ourselves in? This might sound harsh, but it's very true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It happened, and that is the reality. And the same energy that we use naming, blaming, shaming, and making stories, that same energy can be alchemized into healing energy, which is much more beneficial for us. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing or platitudes like everything happens for a reason. We need to allow for grief. The situation we find ourselves in may require that we either be our brother's keeper, or if we have the bandwidth to hold our situation objectively. I prefer that we go about finding someone who will stand and hold space for us while we allow our healing to begin. Now we're going to move into responsibility, the avoidance of or overreaching with Mother Jaguar. Now, some of us were raised with an overdeveloped sense of responsibility, where we are the fixers of the family, a diplomat at best, the scapegoat at its worst case scenario. And then some of us were raised with no responsibility whatsoever, no sense of responsibility at all, where we were the family clowns, and and we were labeled free-spirited at best, entitled and spoiled, and irresponsible at the worst. Now, interestingly enough, both of these can experience the fear and anxiety of what to do when responsibility knocks at our door, and it knocks on all of us' door, to figure out what is it that is our role to play. And yes, there are many ways to look at responsibility and our relationship to it. And we fall on a spectrum. Nobody is responsible all the time, and nobody shirks responsibility all the time. We just seem to fall somewhere on the spectrum of it, right? So we learn how to avoid responsibility, how to pass it off to someone else. And the reason that we do this is so that we can avoid the pain and the growing pains of healing. And here are a couple ways that this kind of plays out. And yes, while we are our brother's keeper, we can have an underdeveloped sense of responsibility and find ourselves in the role of rescuer or fixer. Now, here's the thing with rescuers and fixers. The problem with that is that when we engage in that role, we can enable perpetual victimhood or avoidance of responsibility for somebody else. Ultimately, we think, we might be thinking that we're doing that person a favor, but ultimately this sort of thing is disempowering for the person that we do that for. Because there's one thing, there's karmic lessons. We all incarnate from previous existences with a certain amount of hucha, that is energy, either negative or good energy. Some of us carry very heavy hucha. Like, say, for example, if I were an unloving person in a previous incarnation, maybe I would be born into a family where unloving behavior was the norm, and it would be my challenge this lifetime to figure out how to become a loving person. And if I weren't given that opportunity because somebody kept rescuing me and not allowing me to see that maybe my responses, my respondability to poor treatment was to become defensive and not allow another person in to love me, that would perpetuate this notion of being unlovable. Instead of me seeing, oh wow, this is not how I want to be, let me work on healing that which I think is unlovable within myself so that I can be a loving person. That's healing. That's growth. Okay? And another thing that rescuers and fixers also need to do is to check the motives, okay? Because there's a slippery slope here. When we're rescuing or fixing another person, are we acting out of a desire to ease their suffering? Or is it our ego that's being boosted? So now we're going to look at something different. Wounded healers versus fixers. And I want you to know the way of the shaman is that of the wounded healer. What we do is that we collaborate with another person's healing. And most oftentimes the people that come to us to assist in their healing are people that have had issues that are very similar to the ones that we've had to heal within ourselves. And this requires very deep compassion and discernment. And I'm actually reminded of a story in one of the sacred texts, the Bible, where Jesus was at the pool of Bethesda with a paralyzed man. And this is a story that kind of epitomizes compassion and discernment and action. And this is taken from John chapter 5. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred up the water. Then whoever stepped in first, after the stirring of the water, was made well of whatever disease he had. Now a certain man was there who had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there, and he had already been in that condition for a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I'm coming, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your bed and walk." And immediately the man was made well, took up his bed and walked. Now, there were several things here. Jesus asked him, "Do you want to be made well?" He didn't swoop down and say, "I'll save you." No, he started with a question of the person's desire to be healed. Because 38 years is a long time to suffer with something. This man could have possibly figured out some way to make peace with his condition, as a lot of people with infirmities do, but this wasn't the case. We don't know what the payoff was for this man staying in victim mode as he laid by the pool of Bethesda. Now, sometimes there can be a payoff to remaining in victimhood and not taking responsibility for ourselves. Some people are afraid of what the responsibilities may be and don't feel up to the task because once they've healed, it's too scary, and so they back away from their healing. Maybe he was afraid that after 38 years of being infirm that he wouldn't be able to support himself physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. After bad things happen to us and the smoke clears, it can be pretty hard to figure out what to do next. So, some of us stay in our stories. So, why did Jesus say, "Take up your bed and walk"? Was it because the newly healed man needed to remember where he came from? Or perhaps a reminder to this man that now he was responsible for his own well-being? Or maybe how it's our responsibility to manage our baggage after we've experienced the healing? Who knows? All of this or none of this could be true, but it's worth considering when looking at what may be standing in the way of our own healing. Be curious, ask questions. So, to sum it up, the rescuer gets to be the hero. The victim does not have to grow. So, let's talk about compassion versus enabling. And compassion is a key component in healing. And in our above story, this is what Jesus displayed. Compassion differs from empathy in that empathy/sympathy can leave a person where they are. Compassion sees the need and addresses it, leaving the recipient responsible for their own recovery. Compassion says, "I'm sorry that you've fallen. Now, get back up." Now we're going to move on to responsibility, about what do we embrace, what responsibilities do we actually enjoy, and what truly does belong to us. And this is about the sweetness of life. This is hummingbird medicine. See, because responsibility, I know it's been kind of heavy, but now we're going to get into some lightness a little bit. Because responsibility is not necessarily a doom and gloom proposition when we truly begin to understand what and to whom we are to respond to. Some of the most worthy things in our lives, those desires that arise from our purpose and our passion aligning, will give us plenty of opportunities for responsibilities that we can accept and execute with joy and gratitude. And these can be challenging, especially if we are called to perform in a way that generated fear for us in the past. For example, I myself as a shaman, I am a wounded healer. I am a teacher. I am a singer, a slinger, and a digital shaman. And I don't like being seen. Now, it's a vulnerability that I've had since childhood, since some of my own personal survival depended on me being invisible and or hypervigilant. And after many, many years of that, I became an expert, a PhD in invisibility and hypervigilance. Now, these so-called shadow aspects have been alchemized because I've brought them to the light for healing. Sometimes I still struggle with not wanting to be seen. Now, I have learned and I have taught these shadow aspects of myself and integrated them back into myself so that now they serve me. My hypervigilance, it allows me to know when someone isn't invested in their healing, or if a topic that I'm speaking on needs further elaboration, or if in one of my classes people aren't resonating with the thing that I'm teaching, and it allows me to stop and ask questions and engage. Now, I really do enjoy teaching and speaking, and I really do enjoy being a singer, a card slinger, and a digital shaman. And to do that, guess what? I gotta be seen, right? So therefore, in order for me to respond, my ability to respond to the call of being a shaman and a teacher must be that I need to make peace with being seen, which means that I am responsible for showing up in front of and showing up for the people that Spirit has put in my path to serve as a slinger, singer, and digital shaman. This is my responsibility, my respondability that I do with great joy and gratitude, because it's the love that I feel for the people and the love that I feel for the work that I do that outweighs my discomfort about being seen. And that moves us finally into responsibility, respondability. How does responsibility connect us all together? And that brings us to Eagle Condor. From the highest level, responsibility goes something like this. Don't let your food get cold looking at someone else's plate. And we live in a time where we've all been guilty of saying someone ought to do something, or naming, blaming, shaming behavior that causes so much disharmony or lack of Aini. And if you've been with me through talks, Aini is a Quechua word that means right relationship. And being out of Aini means that we're out of right relationship. Okay. So the question to ask then is, so what do you have on your plate that you let go cold? Why are you avoiding it? And why are we so busy comparing our responsibilities to others, either trying to shirk our own or play superhero to someone else's? And it does go back to that notion of a lot of us did grow up in homes that didn't teach us a balanced view of responsibility. We may have had parents that didn't give us any, or they were so controlling so that when they asked, why did you do that? What were you thinking? You might have felt backed into a quarter. A person who is raised without responsibility may have a completely different answer than an overly controlled child, as truly, neither one were taught how to think and assess their responsibility properly. And they both grow up to display a lack of balance towards responsibility that causes a lot of collective suffering. Don't let your food get cold looking at someone else's plate. So as we tend to our own plate, we're healthy and strong enough to become our brother's keeper and hold space for other people. This is about cause and effect. Actions or consequences that are realities of us dwelling in an earth suit. And the good news is, since you and I have made it this far into our earth suit journey, while we have breath, we have the opportunity for growth and change. We don't have to, nor can we, stay the same. Okay? Nature teaches us that. If I plant an apple seed, will I get a grapevine? Nope. I will get an apple tree. And interestingly enough, if you look at an apple seed and you look at an apple tree, they don't look a thing alike. The seed looks nothing like the tree. And so what Eagle Condor teaches us is that there's huge difference between planting and caring for a sapling and harvesting ripe apples, and there's a whole lot of steps that happen in between, and it takes time and it takes discernment as the needs of the tree changes and develops. And it's no different with us as human beings, and each one of us is ultimately responsible or has the ability to respond to our inner landscape and its needs. And once we've done the work, the heavy lifting of understanding what's of, for, and from us, and the inherent responsibilities or the things that we have the ability to respond to, we then can effectively become our brother's keeper and respond appropriately when needs arise. And that allows us to be an Aini, not just with our two-legged brethren, but with Pachamama herself and all its inhabitants. So, blessings to you all, and thank you very much. And may your ability to respond rise up to any challenge that you may meet. Aho.
Thank you, Donna. You're always so awesome. We just love you so much. Yeah, I can't wait to, at some point, maybe this summer, you'll be down here and we can give you a hug. Maybe we just need to go to Nashville.
See?
Yeah,
That's a good
outside of
excuse, huh?
Nashville, yeah. In Gallatin, yeah, that'd be great. And Jerry, I remember before you became a shaman and you were just a regular old pod person, you have always just been one of my favorite human beings, and we so appreciate that you have taken over that spot as being our shamanic representative, and you always do a great job, and we love you so much. So thank you. Philip and team, rah, 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 where is it? Rah, rah, rah. We send him stuff that's just sometimes crazy, and he's got all sorts of things to put up with and time deadlines, and he actually has a real job. So, Philip, we appreciate you and the people that work with you and for you. And so if you are out there in the world and you have any kinds of needs like this, Philip needs more work. Probably not, but go to Philip and he can do whatever it is that you need to have done, and if he can't, he'll let you know. So thank you, Philip. Following the service from 11:45 till 12:15, we will do our live Zoom deep dive. And join us for that. It's a lot of fun. Just click the button at the place below, and you'll come right in and it's a lot of fun. So join us for that. And the Sunday morning service will be rebroadcast on Facebook Live at 5:45 on Sunday evening. And if you don't like Facebook, then next week go to the YouTube, the People of Diversity YouTube channel, and watch it there. Next week we have Wiccan Oracle Hekatios and Victor Morgado speaking on responsibility.
Yay.
Yay. Go.
If you would like to tithe, make an offering, a donation of any kind, and called anything that you want it to be called, you can do that at www.peopleofdiversity.org. Use the donate button in the middle of the page, and it will take you to a happy place where you can fulfill that desire. Let's take a moment right now and just acknowledge that. Put your feet on the ground, take a nice deep breath. Spirit, thank you for all that is the pod, all those that watch and listen and connect in, all those who support and create the message week after week after week, and everybody who supports that. We are so grateful and appreciative of being in the middle of that and being able to be a part of that.
Don't forget, March 7th, Unity of Melbourne. Even if you live far away, out of town, come on and join us. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be absolutely beautiful. You must RSVP to the New Way Pod at gmail.com by the end of the month, by the end of February, so that we can have food for everyone. But yeah, come on out, folks, and join us and meet our speakers in person. We're really excited about it.
It's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
All right, here's the most important part of our service. Let's bring to our mind's eye anyone in your world who might need healing, help, support, love, and let's put them in a circle together with everyone else. We'll listen to this last song by Daniel Nahmad, just an amazing song, and just push love out to all the people in the circle, and remember that you're in the circle.
Can I add one thing? Let's put the people of North Korea, and especially their leader and their leaders, in the middle of this circle for healing and compassion. So.
All right. Have an amazing week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love.